Hi everybody and welcome along to page 3 of our Mariposa mini journal, mini album. I'll get that right one day. I have a confession to make before we begin. I have already made this page up and filmed it being made up once before, only to find that I'd made a mistake. So this is take 2 for me. I must say I did sort of pull the page apart and to salvage the magnets and stuff out of it. And I will say one thing, I was very impressed with how well it had stuck down. It was a real chore to actually pull things apart. So I feel better about that now. It was horrible that I've had to do it twice, but I now know that the glue and the double-sided and everything really do stick well together. Okay, so let's have a look at what this page is going to look like. This is our base page. The instructions for how to make that are on page 1. It's just got itself stuck down there, which I don't want, so I'll just open that up a bit before we begin. I've just stuck this not very long ago, so I should have opened it up when I did it, really, but I didn't. That's it. There we go. Lovely. So yeah, there's our base page. Always remember to keep the opening at the sides. So I've written on mine top. It just helps me because it's square. It's 8 by 8, so it's very easy to get it that way. It looks the same. It's just that we must keep the sides to the side, the openings to the sides. Okay, so the first thing that goes on is a pocket, and it goes on at the bottom like so. Then we have a bottom flap. Now then, this is important, so listen to this bit, even if you're not listening to anything else. I folded it at a half, and then I creased it, I scored it at a half, and then I scored it again another half in. So I've got a little gusset now on the bottom, and that enables that to come up over the pocket, because that gets stuck on there first before the pocket. So that little 1/8 of an inch gusset just allows it to come up and clear that pocket. There's a top flap. There's no additional scoring in that. It is just at half. That goes kind of like that. Matches up with the bottom one, obviously. And then we have the big main flap. And I've done the same with it. I've put an additional 1/8 of an inch score on that as well, just to give us that little bit of a gusset. That goes on there. That flips open, and pocket goes down there. So that's it, simple as. You wouldn't have thought I could have got that wrong, but yeah, I managed to somehow. So first thing to do then is, what we need to bear in mind is, this is the main flap. This is the bit that's going to be seen on the top. So we want most of our decoration to be on the top, all the glittery bits and whatever. And I have run this through, it's that gold card that I've been using throughout, and I've run it through one of those 3D dies that Nancy kindly gave me, and they're fabulous. They really are fabulous, and I intend to use that somewhere on my main flap. I'm not sure where, and it's a bit bendy at the moment. I wet it, I damped it, should I say, before I put it through the Big Shot, yeah. And it's just made it go a little bit curly. It'll straighten out. So as a consequence, for all my tomfoolery yesterday, I've used some remnants that and paper that I didn't need to use. Oh dear, what a shame. Right, I need a magnet there, but I want it to avoid these flaps. So yeah, I think where I've got it placed there is probably right. So it's about halfway down, and this is I'd say that's a scant 3/4 of an inch. Well, it is actually 3/4 of an inch, so yeah, that's fine. So this is the one I salvaged from the one I did yesterday, and it needs a bit of glue on it because the double-sided isn't sticking anymore. So it doesn't need much because it's going to have paper over it. So we'll pop that down there before we forget, because I am prone to forgetting, as you know, which is why I've taken to writing magnet on the thing, so I know I've got to put a magnet there. Right. First thing then, I think, is the bottom flap. This says Brad, but that's just to kind of remind me as we go. I don't need to do anything about that quite yet. Although actually it might be easier to put, let's put the top flap on first. Let's get organised and get something done. Okay, so I'm going to centralise that kind of by eye. Have already stuck all my double-sided on, you'll be glad to know, and burnished it, so it is just a matter of peeling that off and putting some glue on. Like I say, I was very impressed by how good the glue was. So it's going where the arrow says top, and it's going fairly centrally by eye. I'm getting brave. I think that's about it there. It's just missing that magnet, which is fine. That's what we want. I think that looks fairly central actually. I've got oodles of glue on here. I don't know what I'm doing with my glue today. Just wipe that off. Right, so I'm just going to stand it up on the table. Make sure that they're level at the top, which they now are. Open that up. Burnish it down. I expect a load more glue will come out. Oh no, it started to tack up a bit. Okay. And now we'll put, I could get my glue rubber out and get rid of some of that. That's just ridiculous. Don't know where I thought I was going with all that glue. That's fine. Once again, the joy of collal. Right, doesn't matter about the rest because it'll be covered, but I didn't want that to be on show. Now the bottom flap. I'm going to try and not use quite so much glue. It's just, it's a relatively warm day here, but not warm enough for the glue to go bonkers like it is. So I want this to marry up to that one. Like that, that's pretty good. And I want the outer crease to line up along the bottom. Yeah, that's okay. Happy enough with that. Right, let's just burnish that down. There is a bit of glue coming out, but not as bad as before. Yeah, usually if it's warmer, your glue goes a bit bonkers. Fabri-Tac, I think, is the worst for it. Fabri-Tac's awful if it's warm weather. I don't know how you ladies that live in warmer climates manage with Fabri-Tac. I really don't. Right, okay, so we've got the top flap and the bottom flap in situ. Next thing to do is the pocket. Just checking as I go just to make sure that I'm right. So this pocket, it seems quite complicated, this page, but it's really not. I'm trying to keep this really easy to ease myself and you into the world of mini albums. And if you're used to doing mini albums, you probably think this is too simplistic for you. But I think because of the papers and stuff, I think it looks really nice. So no apologies here. It's, you know, we're doing what we do. Yuck, gone over the edge there. I mean, we could all make junk journals blindfolded, couldn't we, really? So this is just something a bit different. And we get to use gorgeous paper. So this goes down at the bottom. Don't forget, we've got that little flap on the bottom pocket, bottom flap, just to give it enough room to come over. So we can go right up to the edge. Like that. And yeah, my glue's at it again. Let's just wipe that off before it gets too good of a hold. There we go. Right. So let's just give that a quick little burnish down. Oh, the glue's out to get me today, isn't it? It really is. Lovely. Oh, you know what? I should have stuck that on first, shouldn't I? Yes, get off. Quick, don't stick. Oh my goodness, it's stuck. This is really sticky. Really sticky. Okay, I'll leave that like that. I can get my fluff in. I don't know what it is about this page. It's absolutely out to get me. Everything about it is out to get me. It's it's ridiculous. This is twice I've done this page now and I'm still getting it in the wrong order. Okay, so let's get this stuck down. This has got a flap on as well. This isn't going to be the easiest thing to do in the world because of the pocket at the bottom. Don't know why I stuck it on. Madness. Right, so that's that on there. Let's open this up. Yeah, that's nice down there, lovely. So I'm just going to add another little bit of glue down here because by golly it was stuck. So that goes along there. Right, let's get this towel out and get rid of all this blooming excess glue. What's going on? It's in places that I haven't even been with my glue. But fortunately, as I say, good old Collol, it does roll off, which is a really good thing for us. Right, so let's just make sure that that is now stuck down again, seeing as we pulled it off once. Okay. Right, so that's our pocket put on, our main flap put on, the bottom flap, the top flap. Yeah. Oh, and about that doesn't want to fit there. Ah, yes, it does. It's just the gusset. Yeah, that's fine. It was just the gusset that was pulled over, so it's fine. Right, now we need to start decorating it. And the first thing to do really is the bottom, to cover this, go inside there, you know, keep it all tidy. So let's select some papers. Now, as I say, I had a worse day than this yesterday. It was terrible. So I have used up some of the gorgeous papers that I had as remnants. Let's have a look and see what I've got. That's not much use for anything particularly. Is that wide enough? No. I mean, you can't put two pieces together. There's nothing stopping you putting two pieces together at all. I think I might quite like that. Ooh, that just fits perfectly. I think I might quite like that there, actually. But I'll get onto that later. It's sideways up because that's a butterfly wing, but if I cut that off a bit narrower, I don't think you'd notice that that's a butterfly wing. I think that might be quite nice there. So I'll leave that there as a sort of base. And I could make my back out of this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll leave that to that side. And I'm going to use this very pretty teal. And I used the other side of it yesterday. But you'll see that. No, you won't. Could move it over, but I don't think you're ever going to see it all. Okay, I'm just going to go for it like that. So make sure that you're measuring to the correct line of your gusset, and let's make a mark there where we want it. And I want it to just go into the pocket, but not by much, ½ inch. So let's trim that down and start to make this page pretty. It's caused me quite enough grief. Alright, I'll trim that down first. Why did that not want to cut? Oh no. Not another day like that, please. Oh, there you go. And my other mark is here. Honestly, you really have to nurse this viscose cutter. I've learnt that a lot of the problem is me. I'm just too rough with it, too fast with it. Right, so is that going to... Yeah, that's going to go in there, and it's going to come up to there. That'll fold over there. Yes, everybody's going to be happy. Hooray. I've just got a bit of a rough edge down there that I just want to take the scissors to. I don't know why the viscose has just sort of... I don't know, it hasn't trimmed right through the paper. If you're inking yours and you get a problem like this, then it doesn't matter because the ink will cover it. I don't want to take too much off because it's... I think it'll be alright once it's stuck down. Right, okay. So I'm just going to take my release paper off the magnet there. There we go. And glue this down. Did I tell you that we'd decided to have our main meal of the day at lunchtime? And we've been sticking to that for, I don't know, about a week now or so. And we're liking it. Gets it all over and done with. Gives you a nice full sensation for the rest of the day. And and get the dishes washed up and everything, and so there's no thinking about dishes in the evening. Not that I did, they used to always be there in the morning for me, so, but you know, you've got plenty of time during the day to get the dishes washed up. I really like it. I'm really pleased we decided to do it. I don't know why we decided, but I like it. Right, so get this tucked into your pocket, like that. Pull it back up to where you want it to be, which is about there, I'd say. Looks good, yes, yes, yes. Okay, and go round it. Make sure that you go over where the magnet is. Keep that in place. Hooray, we've made a decision. We've got some paper down. And that little bit that was a rough edge, I think it's down there actually, but it's very bad to see, so it's fine. That's fine. Now then, so now we need to cover the pocket. That's the next one from the back up. So I thought about using that, which goes really nicely with the turquoise. They're complementary colours, so they really make each other sing. But what am I going to put on the bottom? Let's have a look and see what I've got in the remnant department. Maybe not very much. I've got some of that, it's not long enough. I've of course got some of that, but I think that's probably a bit too much of the turquoise. I've got some of that. It's the right size, but it's a bit blah. Blah, blah, blah. That's not long enough. I've got some of this green. That also wants to go that way. You see the butterflies going that way. But I don't think I like that particularly with that turquoise. What else do I have? I have more orange. That's not big enough. Oh, no. Not wide enough. Okay, so we're going to have to go into our book and see what we've got. Where did I put it? I've lost my Mariposa book. Oh, where on earth is it? Well, here it is, skulking around. Okay, so let's see what we've got that would go with that. That's quite nice. I could do the whole pocket in that. That would be lovely. What does that pocket measure? It measures 3.5. So I could just about fit that on there. It measures 8, so yeah, I think just about get that on there. Would that look nice or nasty? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it a try. Something different, isn't it? If I can get my paper out, that's it. So I'm going to trim that just along the top. Like that. I'm going to have to do it this way, I can't see what I'm doing. That's 3.5 there. But that would mean, yeah, that's not good. So, if I did it at 4, I'd just get that in. I think that's where I'm going to have to cut it. It does look nice though, doesn't it? Let's hope that it fits properly. I'm just going to make a pencil mark there. Just going to take it off the trimmer. Stop being silly. So I want that there. That's the pencil mark there. Let's just have a look and see where that comes to. No, I'm going to have to do it the other way, or I can't see. No. No, it's going to cut that bottom point off. So, sadly, I'm going to have to leave that for another day, I think. It's just the merest bottom of that point. I'm going to give it a go. I think it looks okay, it's not too bad. I think that's quite nice actually. Yeah, okay. Quite happy with that. Was worth it. Worth sacrificing a whole piece of paper for. There's the mark, there's the mark. Right then, so let's put that on there. That's pretty actually. I like it. I hadn't thought of doing that, and then I just saw it and thought, it's got to be worth a try. Oh, yes, let me wipe that off. Before I do this, I need to put, oh no, the brad goes in that one. Forget it, get it stuck on. If this is the first one of watching me do anything, please don't judge too harshly. I do have days where things go right. Sure you got the butterflies the right way up. The word. That would just be typical, wouldn't it? There we go. Lovely. So I'm just going to go around it, pushing inwards with my finger, just to keep the glue in there. Lovely. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. It's nice. Sort of over there, and that's over there, so we're okay. Right, so the bottom band then, what we're going to put on it? Well, what remnants do we have? This, no, not long enough. That's going up and down. I have got, that's not long enough either. I've got that, I've got this. That might look quite nice. A little strip of that around the bottom. Possibly. Oh, I have got a wider piece of this. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, I think that's fine. It coordinates with the red. Yeah, that's lovely. Let's mark that out then. And I'm saying over and over and over in my head, Brad, Brad, Brad. Because I do need to remember that on this one, we need to put the brad. So make your mark to the correct fold, correct crease line. Let's cut this out. Knocking my glue over. Glue's been awkward today, isn't it? It's just been awkward. And there. Okay, brad. Remember about the brad. Let's just check that that's okay. It's perhaps just a touch long, that actually. Just a touch. I'll pop it in that way. That's just not holding it. I'm going to get the little guillotine out. I think that's going to be more successful at just taking a smidge off. Okay. So let's just check that. Yeah, that's good. That is right on that crease line. Goodness. Driving myself mad today. So it is just literally a little smidge up there. Okay, now, surely. Yeah, that's fine, that's good. I like that. So what we want to do now is to find the centre of that and put a brad in it. But we want the brad to hold this in place. So we want the brad just down. I'll show you the brad that I'm going to use and how we're going to make it work. These are little things called spacers, and I'll show you how they work in a minute. Just get one of those out. Right, so I've got my brad and I've got this pointer, which looks like a clock pointer, but we are going to use it to swing over this top flap and keep it down. But just to give it enough room, we're going to pop a spacer in there, just so it's up and it can swing over easily. But first off, we need to find where we need to make the hole. So I think the best thing to do is glue this on. You could put it through this paper, but I'm going to put it through the whole thing because this is going to get decorated anyway. So it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to glue this paper down, make it easier to find the hole for the brad. Right, let's get the top right and then we know the bottom's right. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that's great. That's lovely. Okay. So that's going to come over there like that. So we'll just measure that along and make sure that we get halfway, because it would look a bit off if it was off. So measure 6 inches, so we want it at 3. Want to leave enough room for the actual head of the brad so it's not getting caught in the top flap. I think that's probably about there. So get your pokey tool out and poke through the paper and the card where you've just marked. I'm just going to get a piece of yoga mat, so I don't want to poke my fingers, so I'm going to do it that way. Poke through it like that. Thank you, yoga mat. So it's a matter of getting these three pieces together. The spacer goes first, then the pointers, then the brad, and there is a right and a wrong side on those pointers, so that goes through like that, goes through the hole that you've just made, if you're lucky. Like that, and then you just obviously fold your ears out on your brad, and it swings around, not madly, not willy-nilly. You do have to turn it, which is good. It's not just going to come open by itself, but if yours is, just make sure that you press these down a little bit more and they'll be fine. So this comes over there, that folds over, spins up there, and it keeps it in place. Marvellous. Right, so what we want now is to decorate this page. So what have I got by way of decoration? I've got this. That's upside down, but never mind. Yeah, this, which is quite nice. Or I've got the red, but we've just used the red, so might leave it alone. I've got this green, which is exactly the right size, but I don't think it's not floating my boat particularly. No, not really. What else do I have? More of the same. I've got that. Which is quite nice. It picks up this red and it picks up this turquoise, but it's just not long enough. Could I use a piece of that on the top? I could use a piece of this red, I think, is probably the solution. And then it will tie that in. Yeah. So, although this is inside, it is the top flap inside, so I don't mind using this beautiful paper for here. And it's absolutely the right size, which is incredible. So let's get that stuck down now. It's quite thick, this paper, because it's really been embossed and it's got lots of gold glitter on it in foil. Lovely. Just going to open this up because I don't want to get glue everywhere. So that is just the most perfect fit. That's incredible. Right, so I'm just going to go around it, pushing it in as I go. Okay. Oh, got a magnet attached to it somehow. Yeah, I think that was a good choice, actually. So now we just want a little bit of this red, and I don't really want that bit, I don't think. it's kind of meaningless. So I might take it from this corner here. I think that's a sensible thing to do. And just to the top of that paper. Okay, let's trim this out. So which way is going to give me better remnants? That's the question. I think I'll trim along there. It'll leave me with more useful remnants. So just make sure that's in straight when it's just a little bit. Lovely. There's the other one. Great. Fabulous. Something's going right then. Something is going right. So I think there is an element of the first sort of bits that you do in the morning. Oh, you're more likely to make a mistake. I don't know, you haven't got your head snapped into gear. Well, that's my excuse anyway. So I want to put that up tightly to that paper that we've already got on. And there we are. That's that. That's lovely. I really like that. I like how it coordinates with this. And this paper here coordinates with everything. So, yeah, that's nice. Good choices. Well done. Hooray! So, next thing to do is to pop this pocket on. I've already got my double-sided on. I just want to, before I do anything else, just snip those corners out. Just like that. Take your release tape off. If you're not using glue on top of your double-sided, you might want to think about not releasing all of it at once, because it's a bit too difficult to control. Like this double-sided, doesn't want to come off. There we go. That would look quite nice with a butterfly or something on it, wouldn't it? Some nice big feature thing. But not thick because it's inside. But I'll think about it. I'll think about what needs to go on it. Maybe nothing. So it is, after all, a place to put your photographs. So you don't want too much ornamentation, I don't think. Right, so this is a side pocket, and it goes, unsurprisingly, on the side, on the back of the main flap. I'm just going to turn that around so I can see what I'm up to. There we go, lovely. Let's press that down. And then we need to find some papers for there. Oh, I know what I should have done. I should have put a magnet in there. Okay, where's that glue come from? Don't know. Don't like it. Oh, it's from the pocket that I've just put on. Okay. Yeah, we need a magnet, and we need a magnet to close this page onto here. So the ideal place for that is under this pocket, which we've now just stuck on. So here's my magnet. Where is it? It's there. This has got glue on it. And I don't want to stick my paper. It's stuck to me now. So what I think I'm going to do is just pop it in there. It'll be easy enough to find where it wants to go, I think. Would have been a darn sight easier without the pocket. Let's pop that in there and see if it finds its own place. Where is it? It's about there, so it's about here. Let's see if it will just find its own place. Okay, that's it. Just hold that in place. Well, that's a bit miraculous. That's not really how you're supposed to do that, but we've done it. So I'm just going to take a piece of remnant and stick that on over the magnet, just so it doesn't come off. I mean, you just can't leave it like that. It's floating free. I'm just going to pop this card over it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's keeping it really nice and straight. Lovely. So I've got the magnet in. No, as I say, that is not the ideal way to do it. It's really not. It's do as I say, not as I do, I think, here today. Right, so I kind of want to make this pocket out of teal, but I don't know if I've got enough left. Oh, I've got enough to make a strip, just to tie it all in, sort of thing. And maybe red. Maybe the red. Let me just have a look for another teal one. That one. Are there any other teal ones in here, I wonder? I don't think so particularly. No, so I'm going to use that one then. And I want it, you know, the right way up, so I'm going to put that there. Mark it. I'm gonna get that. Okay. Let's trim that out. I can smell my dinner. Lamb chops today. Lovely. Lamb chops, carrots and collie. Ooh, Delicious. Ugh. Come on. I'm pretty sure it doesn't need another blade. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe not enough pressure. I don't know. It's driving me hard trying to work out what the trimmer needs. Right, so that's going to go there. That's perfect. Just going to try and trim out some of this bit where it's stripped the top layer off. Yeah. Get this stuck down, and I think it's time for my dinner, so I shall pause, have my dinner, and then get back to you. Things might go right then, which would be excellent. Okay, that's good, that's fine, lovely. Right, so I think probably the thing to do is to use the red, but I really am going to go and have my dinner. It should be going that way up the page, but I think it would be okay that way. Maybe it's altogether too much red. Maybe I just need a little bit of red. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. My dinner's ready. Catch you soon.